The terminal was alive with the usual chaos, rolling suitcases, chatter in dozens of languages, and the low hum of announcements. And then, it began. A single violin note, barely audible over the noise, cut through the air like a whisper meant only for the soul. Travelers paused, bags in hand, eyes scanning for the source of the melody. From that faint note, a gentle chorus of strings swelled. A guitarist joined in, strumming the first chords of a song everyone knew. Hearts began to lift, conversations halted mid-sentence, and phones emerged from pockets. The unsuspecting travelers were about to witness a moment that would transform their ordinary day into something unforgettable. The performers, disguised among the crowd, subtly synced their timing. The first singer stepped forward, voice trembling at first, then blooming with confidence. Perfect! Ed Sheeran's iconic ballad floated across the terminal, wrapping the busy travelers in an instant cocoon of emotion. Smiles appeared, tears glistened, and the airport felt strangely like a concert hall. By the time the violinist hit the soaring crescendo, people were stopping completely. Phones captured the spectacle, strangers exchanged knowing glances, and the entire terminal seemed to hold its collective breath. This wasn't just music, it was magic. A perfect flash mob to remind everyone that beauty can surprise you in the most ordinary places. A ripple of awe spread through the terminal. People stopped mid-step, their luggage forgotten, as if gravity itself had shifted toward the music. The violin's melody intertwined seamlessly with the gentle strumming of guitars. Singers emerged from hidden corners, one from the cafe, another from the information desk, their harmonies perfectly timed, their smiles contagious. Couples clutched hands, children tugged at their parents' sleeves, mesmerized. The airport, usually a place of stress and hurrying, transformed into a cathedral of sound. A lone traveler lifted their phone, recording, but no one seemed to mind. Everyone was present, absorbed in the music. The performers wove through the crowd, their movements choreographed yet appearing spontaneous. Every note, every gesture pulled the audience deeper into the story the song told: love, connection, and perfect moments that appear when you least expect them. Even the security personnel, usually stoic, were swaying to the rhythm. A woman holding a boarding pass gasped, covering her mouth as tears welled in her eyes. The singer's voice, soft but clear, reached every corner of the terminal, and in that instant, strangers were united by something bigger than travel schedules. A shared experience that was pure and fleeting, yet unforgettable. By the time the chorus erupted, the flash mob had become a living organism. Music filled the air, hearts skipped beats, and in the midst of departing flights and arrivals, humanity paused, all to witness a perfectly orchestrated surprise that no one would forget. Then came the moment that would define the day. The harmony swelled so beautifully, it seemed the airport itself was holding its breath. A pianist, hidden near the duty-free shops, joined in, their fingers flying across the keys. The melody built layer upon layer, violins, guitars, singers, even soft percussion, transforming a busy terminal into a live concert. Every note echoed off the marble floors, bouncing from the glass ceilings, filling the space with pure emotion. Passengers stopped walking altogether. Some dropped their luggage to the floor, unable to resist the magnetic pull of the music. Travelers whispered to each other, sharing glances of wonder, as if they had stumbled into a secret world. A young couple hugged tightly, while a child clapped enthusiastically, eyes sparkling. The performers moved gracefully through the crowd, making eye contact with stunned onlookers, drawing them into the performance. Each step, each chord, felt spontaneous, though it had been meticulously planned. The airport transformed into a stage, and the people, everyone from hurried businessmen to wide-eyed tourists, were part of the show. As the chorus hit its crescendo, phones recorded, hearts raced, and cheers erupted. It was more than a flash mob. It was a moment suspended in time, a reminder that beauty can appear in the most unexpected places. In that instant, the chaos of travel disappeared, replaced by music, emotion, and the shared joy of being alive. A sudden hush fell over the terminal. The music had grown so rich, so immersive, that even the clatter of luggage wheels and overhead announcements seemed like background noise to a symphony. The flash mob had reached its heart. Every performer was now fully revealed: strings, percussion, guitars, vocalists, a moving ensemble weaving through the crowd like a river of harmony. Travelers stopped in their tracks, forming a semicircle around the performers. Phones hovered in the air, capturing every note, but no one dared interrupt. The magic demanded their full attention. One of the singers stepped closer to a young couple waiting at the gate. Their faces lit with astonishment, mouths slightly open, as the singer locked eyes with them, singing the lyrics as if they were written just for their moment. Behind them, a group of violinists played in perfect sync, their bows slicing through the air, creating a sound so lush it felt almost tangible. Parents held children aloft so they could see, strangers reached out to hold hands spontaneously, and laughter mixed with tears. An elderly man, leaning on his cane, smiled wider than he had in years, tapping his foot lightly, caught in the pulse of the song. Even airport staff, usually moving with brisk, impersonal efficiency, swayed gently, unable to resist the infectious joy. The flash mob's choreography seemed effortless, though every step was meticulously timed. Singers floated between travelers, guitarists positioned themselves strategically to fill the terminal with sound, and percussionists subtly joined in with gentle taps on benches and luggage, blending rhythm with spontaneity. The airport, once a space of hurried routines, now vibrated with a collective heartbeat. As the chorus rose again, voices intertwined with instruments, creating layers so rich that some travelers closed their eyes, letting the music wash over them. The emotion in the room was palpable: joy, surprise, wonder, and a hint of nostalgia, all wrapped in a single perfect moment. Strangers smiled at strangers, applauding mid-song, caught in a shared human experience that could only happen once, and then never again. By the final verse, the flash mob had created a living tapestry of sound and emotion. The airport had stopped being just a place of transit. It had become a temporary sanctuary of music, of connection, and of pure human magic. And as the last note lingered, the crowd erupted in applause, cheers, and tears, a wave of gratitude sweeping through the terminal like a breath of fresh air. And then, silence. A perfect pause. For a heartbeat, the entire terminal seemed frozen, holding on to the last note as if afraid to let it go. The flash mob had reached its climax. Every performer stood in place, eyes shining with exhilaration, waiting for the final chord to settle. Travelers, some with tears streaming down their faces, applauded wildly, phones raised high, capturing the unforgettable moment. Luggage was abandoned, gates forgotten. Every eye was on the performers, every heart caught in the spell of music. The singers, now joined by a choir of travelers who had been gently encouraged to hum along, lifted their voices. Harmonies intertwined with the instruments, echoing off the marble floors and glass walls, creating a sound so expansive it seemed to embrace the entire airport. A couple locked hands in the middle of the crowd, tears of joy and astonishment mixing freely. Children danced in place, giggling, while parents laughed through happy tears, sharing this spontaneous miracle together. Even the most hurried travelers paused, some leaning on suitcases, some standing frozen mid-step, all caught in the collective magic of a perfect performance. An airport worker, normally brisk and serious, wiped his eyes, muttering, "That was incredible." The performers moved one last time through the crowd, acknowledging smiles, nods, and quiet expressions of awe. Then came the final note, long, sustained, and powerful. It seemed to hang in the air for an eternal moment before fading into the hum of the terminal. And the reaction was instantaneous. Applause, cheers, whistling, and laughter burst forth like a tidal wave. Strangers embraced, some hugging performers, others hugging each other, all sharing in the joy of something rare and unforgettable. Phones captured it all, sure, but no video could truly replicate the energy, the surprise, the communal heartbeat of that airport at that exact moment. Music had turned a busy transit hub into a cathedral of human connection, leaving behind a memory that would linger far longer than any boarding pass or flight delay. As travelers slowly returned to their routines, the echo of the flash mob remained in the air, a gentle reminder that beauty, wonder, and perfect moments could appear anywhere, at any time, if only we were present enough to notice. And with one last wave, the performers melted back into the crowd, leaving behind a terminal transformed, hearts lifted, and a story everyone would carry with them forever.